Last lesson, global memory. Today, a more powerful kind of memory, skills. Reusable chunks of instruction open code can load on demand. By the end of this lesson, you will understand what a skill is, how it differs from memory, where to find skills, and what they unlock. We won't write our own skill yet, that comes later. Today is about understanding the category. What is a skill? A folder with a skill.md file inside it. Plain markdown, same format as agents.md. But focused on one specific task, like a code review checklist or a deploy procedure. The skill is loaded only when needed, not every session, like agents. That's the key difference. How is a skill different from memory? Both are markdown. But the roles are very different. Memory, agents.md, is loaded every session, always there. A skill is loaded on demand, only when relevant. Memory is ambient context, like the room you're in. A skill is focused instruction, like a book you pick up when you need it. Why do skills exist? Because the context window is finite. If everything lived in agents.md, every checklist, every procedure, every framework preference, the window would overflow. Skills let you specialize without bloat. Load only what you need, when you need it. Same idea as function libraries in code, you don't import every library in every project. Just the ones you're using. Skills load on demand. Memory is always on. Different roles. Anatomy of a skill. It is a folder. Inside the folder is a skill.md file, that's the main instructions. Optionally, other files, reference markdown, templates, anything the skill needs. The skill.md describes what the skill does and when to use it. The optional files hold the detail. Same pattern as a small Python package, essentially. Here is a simple example. A skill called pre-commit review. Use this skill before committing Python code. 4 steps: run rough, run pytest, read the diff, confirm. Don't commit if any step fails. 12 lines of markdown. Now, whenever you ask OpenCode to do a pre-commit review, it loads this skill and follows these steps exactly. Repeatable. Consistent. Shareable. Where do skills live? 2 main places. Personal skills in .config/opencode/skills inside your home folder. Project skills in .opencode/skills inside the project. Same format either way. Personal skills apply everywhere, project skills apply only in that project. Same scoping logic as agents.md. 2 scopes, personal skills, project skills. Same as memory. Where do you find skills? 3 sources. OpenCode community repos on GitHub, search for OpenCode skills and you'll find collections. Skill marketplaces are emerging, still early days. Write your own, we'll cover that in Phase H. Or ask OpenCode to write one for you, describe what you want, and it can draft a skill.md file. Then you refine it. How does OpenCode load a skill? On demand, by relevance. When you send a request, OpenCode searches available skills for relevance. Loads matching ones into the context window. You don't have to mention the skill by name, the matching is based on what the skill says it does. Of course, you can also mention a skill explicitly if you want a specific one. Skills stack with everything else we've covered. Your prompt, what you want right now. Agents.md, ambient context loaded every session. Skill, focused instruction loaded on demand. All 3 combine in the context window when relevant. Together, they make OpenCode much more capable than the bare model alone. Memory plus skill plus prompt. 3 layers, all in one context. When should something be a skill? Decision guide. If you'd repeat it across many sessions, make it a skill. If it's about one project only, project agents.md. If it's about you globally, global agents.md. If it's a procedure with multiple steps, definitely a skill. Procedures are what skills are best at. If you remember one idea, skills are on-demand procedures. Markdown files with focused instructions, loaded only when needed, not every session. Same format as agents.md. Different role, focused, not ambient. We'll write our own skill in Phase H, when you have lived experience with OpenCode. Real skill examples from the wild. Pre-commit review, runs lint, tests, and checks the diff before each commit. Deploy checklist, pre-deploy safety checks. Code review guidelines, how to review a pull request consistently. Incident response, steps to follow when production breaks. New feature template, scaffold a new feature consistently. All procedures that benefit from being written down and applied consistently. Skill versus agents.md. When to use which. If it's a hard rule, never commit without tests, that goes in agents.md. If it's a procedure, steps to deploy, that goes in a skill. If it's always relevant, coding conventions, agents.md. If it's only sometimes relevant, pre-commit checks only when committing, skill. The distinction is always on versus on demand. Skill structure in detail. A mature skill has a header with a one-line description. A when to use section with trigger conditions. A steps section with the actual procedure. A references section with links to docs, templates, anything helpful. And an example section with sample input and output. About 30 to 50 lines total. Self-contained, focused, complete. Discovering skills. Browse the open code community on GitHub, there are collections of skills people have shared. Look at what other teams use, colleagues, friends, the wider community. Adapt generic skills to your project, modify them, make them yours. Or write your own from scratch, that's the best way to learn what makes a good skill. We'll write one in phase H. Quick recap. A skill is a folder with a skill.md file inside. Loaded on demand, by relevance. 2 scopes, personal skills in .config, project skills in .opencode. Best for multi-step procedures you'd repeat across many sessions. Coming up next, /commands. We've covered skills in the abstract. Now we cover /commands, the built-in ones first, like /new and /session. Then custom /commands that wrap skills. That wraps phase B, and we'll be ready to install OpenCode in phase C. Skills, on-demand procedures. One of OpenCode's superpowers, memory, skills, /commands, 3 layers of OpenCode's power. Thanks for spending this time with me. Next, we meet /commands, starting with /new and /session.